Thank you, ma'am. Ladies and gentlemen, we all have our favorite mobile brands. Some of us swear by the latest iPhone, others are staunch Android enthusiasts, and a few just wish for a battery that could outlast our patience in the traffic. But behind every iconic brand stands a visionary leader. Today, one such leader, Mr. Rajdip Gupta, the driving force behind Route Mobile, is amongst us. Route Mobile Limited is probably the only unicorn where even the office boys and the drivers are crorepati's. He also owns an ISPL team, Chennai Singhams. Before Mr. Gupta shares his insights, let's take a quick look at his journey and remarkable achievements through an exclusive AV. AV team, please roll.
Some connections happen by chance, but the best ones, they are built with vision. And Mr. Rajdip Gupta has been building them stronger and smarter since 2004. If you've ever received a text from your bank, a delivery update, or a one-time password just in time, you probably have him to thank for it. From a small startup in 2004 to a global communication powerhouse, he has cracked the code on keeping the world connected without dropped calls or message not delivered nightmares. He's the guy who saw the future of digital communication before most of us even figured out how to set up our voicemail. And when he's not busy revolutionizing how businesses talk to their customers, he's mentoring the next generation of disruptors. Because what's the fun in building an empire if you can't inspire a few more along the way? So, get ready to meet a man who keeps the world talking without ever running out of data. Please welcome Mr. Rajdip Gupta.
And now, without any further ado, it's time to hear from the man who's redefining the mobile tech landscape. Please join me in giving a warm round of applause for Mr. Rajdip Gupta. Sir.
First of all, it's been my pleasure to be here, and I would like to thank IMA team. I know I've been invited last year as well. Due to some reason, I might not able to come, but it's my pleasure indeed to be part of this conclave today. And thanks to Ashish for inviting me, and I was not thinking this kind of grand thing which I can expect out here. I think it's an interesting journey. I don't know how many of you know my journey started. If you see my LinkedIn post, it says bootstrap to IPO. Building a 10,000 crore company by just investing 1 lakh rupees is a story of Route Mobile, and that's exactly what I have built. And I would love to share some of my thoughts and ideas to the people who are looking out to be an entrepreneur or who are looking out to start their own business. I think the idea is very simple for me to cover certain piece. I think I can cover here, or I would just want to be there. So, whatever's convenient. Yeah. So, I'll take 5-10 minutes about my story. Like it's very, very important to share with the new generation. And I know there are many management students might be here, and they would like to understand the entrepreneurship and the mindset itself. I think one thing I always share with people: businesses take time, and it takes decades to build a very solid business. And what we have achieved in last 25 years, 22 years, I think it's an amazing story of perseverance and the trust and the people around you. So few of the points which is very, very important for a people now to build a company by raising money or build a company with their own money. I know it's not very easy for people to build businesses without money, but trust me, it is not the money which is important, it's the idea which is very important for anybody to build a business. If you have a great idea, you need not enough money, but your ideas should be something very different than what others are doing. In 2003, I'm coming from a middle class family, and I was working with IBM, a very good job in UK, well paid, and all of a sudden one day I decided that I want to exit and start my own business. 2003, trust me, there was no ecosystem of startup. And just 2-3 years back, there was a dot-com burst, and there are hardly any investor during that time to support your ideas. And we had only option to bootstrap the company. With that bootstrap company in 2003, 2004, and then getting listed in 2020 is a journey for me. And probably I'll go back and talk to other people, but there is definitely a story which I want to talk about India, and I think, and where India is today. I'll share a small story which is definitely something which relates to India now. In 2006, I went to New York. I met a person, and now that person is a friend also. And in that discussion, he said one thing: India is known for 3C. To my surprise, I was really curious to know what that 3C is. And he says cricket, computers, and corruption. And it was interesting to know that 3C, because I was happy at least computer was there, because the tech was there. And cricket, computer, and corruption was the word. I took that word back and I said, okay, fine, India is known for 3C. I met this gentleman 2 years back, and I said, now India is known for 5C. And he said, what do you mean 5C? And he says, cricket. I said, cricket, corruption, and computers are still there. Now Indian has courage and conviction. So that's another 2C. So as an Indian, because of so many policies change, like this Indian, the new generation, we have the courage to take a bold call. In 2004, somebody coming from middle class and starting a company is not very, very favorable situation. But now every single person who has an idea can start a company. And I think courage to build a company and conviction of the product now is something what India is all about. Thank you. I'll just go back and have a word with our people over there. Thank you.
Thank you for an inspiring address, Mr. Rajdip. From visionary insights to innovative strategies, Mr. Gupta has truly ignited our imaginations today. I'll invite Mr. Jaju to take the proceedings further.
Hello. So, Rajdip's a really fantastic 5C combination here. I would definitely request you to please throw some light on the most talked about subject currently, that is the digital arrest. So I would request you to please throw some light on this, that how the fraudsters are playing with common people in the current scenario, and what should be the do's and don'ts for us as a common user before we move to any further technical questions with you.
No, I think before we go to that, there is lots of stories also I want to share. I don't know how much time we have.
So yeah, we have time, so we just definitely want to have all the stories of yours as much possible.
No, I think I will definitely talk about digital framework where India is right now. And I think apart from that, there are many things which is very, very critical for new age founders also. When we started Root Mobile as a company, I always knew there is a market for it. I think it is also very critical for people to understand what they are trying to build, because there is a new race going on right now in the market where everybody wants to innovate, whether it's AI, whether it's AML. But I think in the name of AI, there are so many things happening in the world right now. Okay, and India, you see maximum amount of startup right now are focusing on AI. Okay, but I think it is not that AI is the only thing which people need to run. There's a race going on right now. It is an idea. There are many ideas in various things. And people really need to think about ideas which they can really believe and have a conviction to build. I think the market in India, I think everybody from Western world coming to India because of the market we have. And Indians are somehow leveraging that advantage now. And we as a new tech founder, new age entrepreneurs, really need to think something different. Using AI framework, if you see right now, we are just using the frameworks defined by Microsoft or AWS. There are certain startups which they are trying to build their own LLMs, their own AI models, but still we are far behind what OpenAI has already achieved. In AI, in next 1 or 2 years down the line is a collaboration model. And AI and the digital security, the question which you have asked, is going to play a very vast role in next 2 to 3 years down the line. The problem with the digital security or digital arrest which you're talking about is a mindset of people also. Because people, see, there are so many ads going on. Government is putting n number of efforts to make sure people are aware about the frauds. But fraudsters are one step ahead of your mindset. I think they try to play with your mindset. I think we really, see, there is no cure. If you talk about a solution, they will think about something different. So idea is like, we can definitely understand the frauds which is happening, and there are solutions. And I think before you download any app on Android phone, I think biggest problem Android has right now, there are certain apps which get downloaded. The moment you click on a link, it goes to some other link, and your UPI is another. I think most of the people now using UPI apps, which is indeed a problem statement, because the money goes directly from there also. So I think the digital arrest part is again a mindset. People really need to think. I'll give a simple example. Like somebody just called with a deep fake. There's a deep fake option available now. They will put your photograph, and they behave like I'm talking, that I'm in a stress. I really need 10,000 rupees. Please send immediately. And it will look like Rajdip Gupta calling to his own family member with that deep fake option. The people get panic and they start transferring money. But they could have just done one simple thing, just give a call to Rajdip Gupta, verify, is that you? But people don't do that, because the deep fake is the biggest problem in digital arrest today, and companies are working on. I said the digital adoption is growing multifold, but the digital fraud is also increasing at the same time. Billions of dollars are getting lost every single year in India only, but nobody is willing to talk about it. So I think this will be there, but because of certain regulations, certain things what government is working on, I believe things will change.
So thank you. Really, this is a topic which is making everybody think about it, and such a simple thing which we should definitely be checking on and not getting prey to this kind of a situation. It's truly an inspirational story. 100,000 rupee to a 10,000 crore company. Can you please share some of your experiences and stories which has given you ideas to go on to the product offering side as well on the usage of the platforms?
So I think for any entrepreneur, for any young entrepreneur also, I think the fear of failure is a key for the success. And I always believed in my entire life, like whatever I'm building today as a tech founder, can we change tomorrow? And I think the fear of failure is one area where every tech founder or every founder should always have in them. Because if you believe that what I'm built and nobody can replace it, it's not going to work like that way. And I think for my success, I say every single day, till today, after having this kind of success, building multiple businesses, I still believe the competition is much smarter than me. So I never underestimate my competition at all. I think that is one area where every single person, I think you can be overconfident, it's good, but don't try to be too much confident that my competition is, I'm far better than my competition, because you never know, some startup will come and they disrupt you completely. Simple example I'll give you in our mobile ecosystem, 2003, 2004, when incoming and outgoing used to be 16 rupees. And we all used to pay 16 rupees for that. WhatsApp came, the WhatsApp call, they just replaced the entire voice calling industry. And that is the disruption. Like operators thought like nobody can replace them, but you never know. So I think as a tech founder, as a founder, if you're trying to build something, do have that fear of failure. And I think for me, it is still today. I think I'm building so many new things on AI or on technology, but things can be replaced. And I think there is nothing called as stable business model in the entire ecosystem. Business can go ups and there will be ups and downs, but as a founder, you really need to be thinking 5 years ahead of the time, like what could be the change which is going to be in next 2 years down the line. Am I capable enough to understand that change? Do I have the enough technology team to build that product in-house? Or I need to partner with somebody, outsource partner. See, or I can buy a company. So there is definitely a discussion, like in Root Mobile history, we bought 6 companies. Okay, and it's again a story of Root Mobile. We bought 3 companies with our internal accruals. We have enough cash in bank. We bought companies worth 300 crores with our own money before going for IPO. So I think it is a cash flow is also one very critical aspect, Raising fund, diluting yourself is another problem. How much money I'm generating and how much money I'm saving for the future growth is also very critical aspect of any businesses. And we always believe cash flow is a king. And for me, profitability is a major. I'm coming from the Bania community, and the first lesson is we have been taught that profit is everything. So there are many companies nowadays I see they talk about runway and the burn rate, right? And I think it is not that runway and the burn rate one founder should think about. Think about a sustainable business model. Think about profitability. If you are profitable and you can sustain for a longer period of time your business model, you will definitely make enough money. My classic example, I exited from Root Mobile. I sold our stake to Proximus worth 6,000 crore. In 20 years. So I could have done this, I could have sold my company 10 years back for 300 crore. So we had a term sheet for 300 crore. I said, no, this is the right time for exit. We exited at the right time with 6,000 crore. So I think you build a solid business. A business just takes time. It is not a short-term story that I can change everything overnight. You have to trust yourself. You have to trust your people. You need to build team. And you have to innovate in a way that whatever I'm building, it has a market. And again, I just want to give a suggestion to almost all the young entrepreneurs or the people who really want to build something. Be a customer of your product first. Then you search another customer. Because when you behave as a customer for your own product, then you will do the justice of that product, for that product. Because if I am building a product, am I going to use that product? Is that product going to solve my problem? Is the key. Otherwise, you are building a product for masses, but you believe that it is not solving your problem, then something is wrong. And I think that is where the business entrepreneurs need to think, the young entrepreneurs need to think. Don't follow the race of fundraising. Trust me, old school businesses are still strong, still doing good. We did first year revenue of 1 crore. Year 1, 2004, and we are exiting almost 4,800 crore revenue this year. So it's a journey. So I want to achieve 100 crore in 2 years. It is not going to work. You have to really plan every single step. It's a baby step you have to take, right? To achieve $1 billion is my target in next 3 years down the line. From this scale, what I have already achieved, probably it will take now 3 years to achieve $1 billion for me, or maybe 2 years from now, because I have already achieved the scale. But it took almost 20 years for me to achieve almost 5,000 crore revenue as a company. So I think it's a process, and it's a scale. You need to grow. You need to define a growth story also. So there is always one idea which we always believe: buy against build, right? So if there is a product which is there in the market, and I'm not able to have that product stack as a part of my offering, if I build that product, it will take 2 years to build that product. But is there a company available with the same stack? I will prefer to buy that company because I already have a customer base of my current customer who can use that product. And that is exactly what we have done in past. So there is always people believe, oh, I'm a tech founder, I believe in my people, I will build this product. By the time you build the product, it will be too late. Market might be changed something different. Your competition has built something different. So it's a story that how you build, and For entrepreneur, when you scale, you need to also think about this option of build against buy.
Fantastic, sir. So this is really inspirational from an organic to inorganic growth and the reasons for going inorganic. And this is really inspirational to even see burn rate, which is very, very commonly talked. Fundraising world is actually attracting guys to go for a fundraising equation while they really forget about their dilution into their businesses and the thoughts, then everything, actually the innovation goes for a toss somewhere. So really fantastic to understand this. Disruption on technology side is really a very important one. So I would request you to please further just first part of my question would be towards an AI built up or AI preparedness for more of a manufacturing company. So most of the Indian MSMEs to Indian corporates, actually the data, how much that data is ready to go on to ML adoption and the AI adoption. So, and what should be the way towards that? That is the second part of it.
So, in a nutshell, if you see the entire AI model, what OpenAI, what they have done it, they have collected data of past 20 years, and that entire model is built on the data collected by them through cookies, through other mode. So nobody knows from where they collected the data, but we have shared all our data on social media network or internet. So it's a combination why Perplexity or OpenAI or Microsoft, they are the source of the data. Like they have collected data from so many millions of billions of people throughout the world, and now they are using that data. So any industry which is going to adopt AI, the data is going to be the king. The data set is going to be the main aspect for their business. Every single unit needs to use AI for better outcome. Okay? I think the outcome, how can I do my work which I'm doing in 1 week, can it be done in 1 day or 1 day work in 1 hour? That is the whole concept of data or AI thing, right? AI, ML, or whatever you talk about. The idea is that what kind of data set you have. I'll give a simple example of Root Mobile. We have 20 years of customer support data. So every single time a customer raising a ticket on our platform, we have collected all the data. So we know exactly how my agent or customer support agent is answering that question. So 90% of the time, the answers are almost same. Okay, somebody is writing good English, someone is using bad English, somebody is so it's a mix and match. So when we took that 20 years of data and put it in the AI model, and now 70% of our customer support is done by AI. So we used to have 60, 70 people for customer support. Now we have 7 people. Because 70% of that initial discussion and engagement is done by my bot. That bot plays, you ask any question, you give your customer ID, you ask any question. The bot has all the previous record, and based on that, they start answering. And from 70 to 7, it's like you can say that, again, the question about job, I know you might ask this question, but again, the way we interact with our customer, there was a small issue, the customer support will raise that ticket to technology team. Technology team will take another few days to reply. So our TAT, turnaround time, for a serious queries used to be 3 days. That TAT has gone to now 3 hours. Because of the data which we use in the right way with the right AI model, and my customer support at Root Mobile is completely on AI, and we are doing fantastic on. And I think the customers are happy. End of the day, it is very critical how fast my customer agents are replying to the queries, and how fast my customer is getting that satisfaction. Oh, I am satisfied with the queries I raised, and I got the right answer. So I think again, for any industry, how you maintain your data and what kind of data set you have. So there might be industry companies, they might have the data set, they can create a model based on different industries. But if you want to use a captive use, like you think about the data storage from now, maintain your data set from now, and if you're using technology or computer or cloud, now there are lots of options available. You can store your data over cloud at very nominal cost, and that is advantage AWS or Microsoft is bringing on table now. Previously, to store those kind of data, we really need to invest heavily. But now, because of the cloud model, things are getting very cheap, and people can store data for years and years over the cloud. So that's what I can suggest.
Thank you, really very insightful. And so you are now in everybody's mobile. Your some or the other product is into everybody's mobile. So what do you actually give a guidance to a common user? One part you have discussed about the Android usage, downloading things, but definitely it is prompting and Android cannot go out of the life. So what do you give as a guidance to a common man who is actually using your OTP platforms every now and then, and the UPI payments becoming so popular, the net banking, every personal data on this? So what should be the do's and don'ts on that for a common man?
See, common man should little bit responsible. Okay, that's the only suggestion I can give you. I was listening a podcast, and there was a scammer. I think the gentleman booked a hotel, and he said, "Ki sir, you just abhi iske liye aap ek 5,000 रुपया transfer कर दो." तो he transferred 5,000 rupees, and then he said, "अरे अभी हमारे लिंक पे तो पैसा आया नहीं है, तो कुछ तो प्रॉब्लम हुआ है. तो अभी एक मैं आपको और 5 रुपये का लिंक भेज रहा हूँ, तो आप ये 5 रुपये पे भेज दो, तो अभी तुरंत आपको मैं होटल बुक हो जाएगा यहाँ से." तो ही सेंड अ लिंक. जो यूज़र के पास जो लिंक आता है वो 16,000 का रुपये होता है. तो दिस जेंटलमैन से, अरे सर एक यू सेड 5 रुपीज़, हाउ कम 16,000? तो दिस स्कैमर सेड, ओके डू वन थिंग सर, एक काम करोगे, जो आपको स्क्रीन जो आया है 16,000 का, आप मुझे भेज सकते हो क्या? द प्रॉब्लम विद द 16,000, इट ऑल्सो हैज़ अ OTP. So that gentleman sent that OTP to the scammer by default. So it is your common sense also, because I know scammer play with your mindset. Okay, they play with human psychology, and they are the best psychologists in the world right now. I can tell you, rather than going for any doctors, you can learn a lot from them. They have innovative ideas, and people themselves are becoming a what do you call scapegoat, or maybe whatever. They are responsible themselves. I can tell you that. We need to be responsible to start thinking differently, because not everything which is coming as a free is an option to adopt, right? And be responsible. That's the only suggestion I can give.
Thank you so much. It is really very inspirational of you to give us a guidance on this. So a takeaway that we need to use everything very responsibly, and I'm sure a data set readiness is another key to do on proper usage of AI. So I really thank you for your this address. I would request Gauravji to take the things.
Thank you, Mr. Jaju, and a big thank you to Mr. Rajdip Gupta for an engaging and thought-provoking session. As we transition to our next segment, I am delighted to pass the baton to our next Master of Ceremony, Ms. Swati Jain, who will carry the momentum forward. Thank you, everyone, and let's keep the energy high for what comes next. Thank you.
Thank you.